All right, good morning, everyone. Morning. I want to start off by saying that if 10, 15 years ago you would have said I would have come to a developer event and seen people wearing ties, I would have been very surprised. I'm Steve Van Rokel. I'm the managing director here at the FCC, responsible for all the operational aspects of the agency, the use of technology internally and externally, and many other things. I came to the FCC about 19 months ago from Microsoft over on in Redmond, Washington. I'd spent about 2 decades out there, saw a lot of changes, as you can imagine, from the early days. Windows 3.1 had just shipped when I showed up, and kind of rode that rocket for a while, and then came to the FCC to help do things like this, which is great. We're having this opportunity. I came with the chairman. I'm the first appointed managing director of the FCC, and one of the mandates that he and I had talked about when we came in the spring of 2009 was really to do things like this, which was get the public, get citizens involved in a way that had never been done before, and transfer that expertise to the FCC in a way that will better this country. And I'm happy to see it happening today. Our first day of meetings, we had a consumer group and a technology group come meet with us, and this is a great bookend, and it will continue on from here, because the work of this commission has really never been greater. I mean, we've been tackling over the last 18 months a plan to get broadband to every American, no matter where they are, a plan to think about how broadband applies to national purposes. My favorite line that he uses is that broadband is not a solution to any problem, but it's part of the solution to almost every problem. In that, healthcare, energy, public safety, jobs, and so much more are tied to having a great communications network in this country. And if we think about the convergence in mobile and how fast that's all moving, it's just incredible to kind of contemplate. And so one of the things, besides kind of bringing in expertise, was also changing our approach generally, involving citizens and the industry in ways that have never been done before. I don't know if a lot of you know this. For example, we were the first agency to really gather public feedback. We're guided by something called the Administrative Procedures Act, that is the way that rules and policies are created in this country. And the APA has a great line in it that says that the agencies shall gather feedback from the citizenry to enlighten decisions that are made. And the word enlighten just sort of is very prominent there. And the approach in the past has really been about kind of putting out these draft policies and really allowing the industry to come in, really lawyers come in and kind of get involved in giving us feedback that then shapes a lot of these policies. For the first time with this commission, we used kind of took a Web 2.0 approach to the Administrative Procedures Act, and used crowdsourcing platforms to allow citizens to actually input on important proceedings in front of the commission. If you go to broadband.gov, when that proceeding was open and you commented on our blog, or you went up and entered comments into the crowdsourcing platform we had there, that actually goes into the official record. Your blog comment, we can be held legally liable for your blog comment. Pretty daunting to think about that. But it really opens up the doors to government and accessible government in a way that we have never done before, and really the federal government really hasn't done before. Well, now it's time for developers. We've had an effort over the last really 18 months, but a few months it's really been public, around opening up our data. A floor just below you has a room in it that has about 7 million linear feet of paper, docketed items that this commission has gathered, important data that has substantive information in it around the industry. We want to change that. We want to first collect our data in better ways. We've got an effort going that's government-wide on making machine-readable data really the input from the industry, so we actually get data in standardized ways across government. We want to make that data accessible and make sure that people, no matter how you're consuming data, can get access to that, and that's, I know, an important part of what we're going to talk about today. And we want to make it, just available. putting and publishing data on like fcc.gov/data or our first ever fcc.gov/developer in programmatic ways is an important construct to think about the future of where we want to take data. It'll allow us and you to innovate quickly and really kind of move the ball forward on really using valuable government data to its full extent. So I'm excited to see this effort get kicked off today. I'm excited to see what comes out of today. I'm excited to see these happen in the future and we get more momentum going on getting developers involved in the open data initiatives and really, really kind of create the magic with a lot of what we're doing here. So I want to thank a few people for putting this together. First, the FCC employees. I know there were a lot of employees very involved in kind of getting you in. I loved it. This is the first time I've ever seen this room set up like this in this sort of collaborative fashion. It's usually all pointed up to the dais up front, and so it's excited to see that. I want to thank the members of the Yahoo Developer Network. Innovations around events like this are really kind of a key thing, and seeing us being able to partner with you is really really great. And I want to last thank Greg Ellen, the first ever FCC Chief Data Officer. He's tasked with really looking at this data, not problem, opportunity, and thinking about how we're going to move that forward. And I think he's speaking next. So thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Greg Ellen, and since I was tasked with the data, I figured I'd get a bunch of other people to do my work. So I really appreciate you guys being here to take on the work that I have to do and help me get it done. Usually this commission meeting room has lawyers and lobbyists and advocates and policymakers and has for years had those individuals in this room talking about it. And this is the first time that this room has really been filled with developers. So that's a tremendous first for the FCC. The change in the room kind of reflects it. The power cords on the desk, that this is an opportunity to get some stuff done. The mission of the FCC, what the FCC is tasked with since 1934 in the Telecommunications Act, is regulating interstate commerce in wireline and wireless communications for the purpose of making sure that such facilities are available to everyone to use without discrimination. Making sure that we can all communicate with each other is the mission of the FCC, and that we can do it at affordable prices and use the latest technologies. What's exciting to me about being at the FCC is that this is the place where technology and policy and the marketplace all collide together and have to get figured out. And that innovation is happening across all of those areas at the same time. So this is the first FCC Developer Day. Our mission for today is to really just start. If we had a longer Developer Day, if we had more experience, if we had some more, if we had more resources that we're still in the process of putting up online, we might be able to get some real finished products done. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I think that if we can begin in a kind of agile fashion of doing the smallest, simplest thing that might make a difference or make it easier to build on, we will have a very successful day. Our friends at Yahoo Developer Network, who have done this before and have been very helpful kind of getting us going, have printed out some stickers, which I'm going to leave up here. And if you have a particular strong skill, be it PHP or user interface design or Unix, put this sticker on your computer, or better yet, put it on you, so if a person needs a little bit of help with something, they know where they can find the expertise in the room. We have some snacks. We have some snacks on the table. We're going to be bringing snacks. We are going to be bringing pizza for lunch so that we can just keep working, and we'll have more details on that. We've got some water in the corner. The restrooms are located just out and around the back. It seems that everyone is connected to our network. I'm very appreciative of the work that was done by the networking team here at the FCC to make sure that we all had adequate facilities and bandwidth for today. Now, we did set up a wiki, but I understand we used, and to set up the wiki, we used GSA's new apps service, citizen.apps.gov, where government staff can just go set up a blog or set up a wiki in the cloud. So we use that service, but I understand some people may not be getting confirmation emails to edit pages. If that's the case, we will try to work that problem down, and in the meanwhile, I think that someone might be setting up a PB wiki or something else so that we can temporarily route around that problem. I think that people got the URL in their RSVP, but I believe it's wiki.citizen.apps.gov/FCC Developer Day. And I think the last thing that I'll say, we will talk more. We're going to start a panel and talk about the different tracks and activities for today. And I do want to point out that today we all use assistive technologies. We're all here with computers. We're all here with these powerful devices in our pockets. So we all exist along a continuum of using assistive technology. And expanding that out for everyone and using concepts of universal design so it's better for all of us is part of what innovation is about now. So with that said, we are going to try some speed introductions around the room. Okay, and I think it's going to take a second for us to get set up. Pam, do you want to walk around with a microphone? Okay, and Dan? Okay, great. So I would like everyone really quickly to say who they are, their name, the organization they're with, or if they're independent, and then one word that you think about or that comes to mind when you think about the FCC. And this is going to be just real quick so everyone can get a sense of who's in the room. So I'm going to go first, and so that we keep this moving, I'm going to then toss it to Dan, who will do an introduction of himself, and then Pam will introduce herself, and then we'll just go back and forth between people on the two sides. So you'll know that you're coming up because someone will stick a microphone in your face. And so with that, my name is Greg Ellen. I'm with the FCC, and what I think about, and my word is innovation.
I'm Dan McSwain. I'm the New Media Fellow here at the FCC, and my word is tech forward. Who's next?
Pam, you're next.
Hi. My name is Pam Gregory, and I'm the Director of the Accessibility and Innovation Initiative, and my word is innovation too.
Dan, oh yes, go, right.
Hi, I'm Chris Blauk with AOL. I'm a software engineer doing accessibility work, and my word is Wi-Fi.
Hello, good morning. My name is Hisham Kassab with Mobi Labs, a startup company in Silver Spring, and my word is broadband.
Hi, my name is Amr Zumkwala. I am independent, and my word for the FCC is useful.
Hi, my name is Mark Joseph. I'm here with the FCC, and my word is intelligent.
Hi, I'm Mohammed Mahbub. I'm coming from ComSearch. I work as a software engineer there. The first thing that comes to my mind with FCC is really data, because I work with a lot of data of FCC. Thanks.
My name is Mika Paikala with the Association of Blind Citizens, and I think of the new 21st Century Communications Act.
I'm Donald Campbell with the Federal Communications Commission, Office of Entry and Technology. My single word is data.
I'm Eric Hansen. I'm a contractor at the FCC, and my word would be changing.
Hi, my name is Anthony Balagaw. I work for ComSearch, a division of CommScope, and my word for FCC is also data.
Well, my name is Mark Fredrickson, contracting firm Mburst, and my word is GIS.
Hello, John Hankes, Booz Allen Hamilton. Is it bad if I think of fines?
No.
My name is Sean O'Connor. I'm with Microsoft as a solution engineer, and my thought is subscriber line tax.
My name is Harriet Mills. I'm architect with the Bureau of Land Management, and my word would probably be governance or regulation.
My name is Zimin Xu, solution architect at Microsoft. My word is open. Actually, my words are open communications.
Okay. I'm Katie Filbert, and I'm an independent developer, and my word is data.
Hello, my name is Dave Tyler. I'm working at the National Institute of Health, and my word is innovation.
Hi, I'm Drew Lahart from the IBM Human Ability and Accessibility Center. My word is regulation.
Lisa Hartigan, Wireless Telecommunications Bureau, and my word is spectrum.
My name is Kim Perry. I work for Teletech Government Solutions, and my first thought would be communications for everyone.
My name is Antoine Green. I work in the Media Bureau here at the FCC. My word is innovation.
I'm Jack Zhao with the Focus IT. I'm here because of the open government work, contracting work we are doing with the NRC. My word is open government.
My name is Shauna Wilkerson with the FCC Enforcement on Disability Issues, and my word is innovative compliance.
My name is Carl Schmidt. I'm independent, and I'm interested in accessibility for the disabled.
Hi, my name is Greg Hilbach, and I'm with the FCC, and my word is access.
Hello, my name is Joel Zimba. I'm here with the Maryland Technology Assistance Program, and my word is data.
Hi, my name is Mikkel Mora, and I'm with the FCC, and my word is opportunities.
Hi, I'm Quidin Jacob. I'm here with the FCC Electronics Engineer. My word will be technology.
Hi, my name is Andrea Durham. I'm here with the Museum of Science in Boston, and my word would be access.
My name is Brian Liu. I'm with FCC. My word will be network security.
My name is Wyatt Barnett. I'm with the National Cable and Telecommunications Association, and my word is data.
Hi, my name is Dorothy La. I work with National Institute of Health, and my work is innovation.
My name is Douglas Goist. I'm the Assistive Technology Coordinator, National Industries for the Blind, and my word would be awareness. Thanks.
My name is Yelena Dvalotkina. I am a cold fusion developer from National Library of Medicine. My word is knowledge.
My name is Derek Key. I'm independent, and the word I think of is radio.
My name is Sulaiman Sani Sanusi, and I'm a cold fusion developer at the FCC.
Hello, my name is Robin Horwitz, and I'm with Convo Communications, and my word is accessibility.
My name is Juan Guerra. I work for OET, FCC. I'm a cold fusion developer.
Hello, my name is Chad Taylor, and I'm with Convo Communications, and my word is innovation.
Hi, my name is Todd Stavish. I'm here with, excuse me, Socrata, and my word is APIs.
My name is Andy Bayo. I'm here with Expert Labs and ThinkUp, and my words are net neutrality.
Hi, I'm Partha Puskur with Computech Inc., and my word would be broadband.
I'm Gina Trapani. I'm a project director at Expert Labs at AAAS, and my word is access.
Hi, my name is Huimi Nguyen, and my word is changing.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Lyle. I'm Special Counsel for Innovation in the Wireless Bureau, and my word is inclusivation, inclusive innovation.
Hi, my name is Antti Koskenrauta. I'm from Computech, and my word would be mobile.
Hi, my name is Jeff Lanat. I'm from CSD VRS, and my word would be accessibility.
Hi, my name's Mike Bouchard. I'm from Computech, and my word would be access.
Hello, my name is Assad Musa. I'm a software developer with ZVRS, and my word would be video quality.
Hi, my name is Juan Marin. I'm with Computech. My words would be open geospatial data.
Hello, my name is Craig Flanagan, and I'm with, my word would be access. I'm also with ZVRS.
Hi, my name is David Lantner. I'm with Computech, and my word would be inclusion.
Hi, my name is Ian Cairns. I'm with Development Seed, and my word would be open data.
Hi, my name is Kevin Cole. I'm at the Gallaudet Research Institute and also with open source developers volunteering in like Ubuntu, and my word would be community open source.
Hi, I'm Tom Eckwright, also with Development Seed, and my word would be accessibility.
Hi, my name is Ryan Harvey. I'm with Social Security Administration, and my word is ham radio.
My name is Eric Anderson, also with Development Seed, open source.
I'm Justin Swain, freelance videographer and advocate of appropriate technology. Word, proactive.
Hello, my name is Norman Williams, and I'm from Gallaudet University. I'm a software engineer, and my word would be deaf access.
Hi, I'm Jim Tobias from Inclusive Technologies, and my word is Section 255.
My name is Brian Ulmer. I'm with the FCC. I'm a developer. My one word would be data.
Hi, my name is Tim Cash, independent senior telecommunications engineer, 30 years, looking for work, and my word would be jobs based on net neutrality, crucial for this country.
My name is Gray Brooks. I'm with the FCC. My word would be progress.
My name is Steve Jacobs with Ideal Group and Apps for Android, and as you can guess, my word is Android accessibility. That's one word.
My name is Haley Van Dyke. I'm with the FCC New Media team, and my word is citizen engagement.
Hi, my name is Nader Nasir. I'm with VSA, the International Organization on Arts and Disability, and my word would be access.
Hi, my name is Neil Chilson. I'm with Wilkinson Barker Nauer, and my acronym would be ECFS.
Hi, I'm George Krebs, and I'm with the FCC New Media team, and my word is social.
Hi, I'm Euler Uwe. I'm with Computer Science Corporation, and my word is open.
Hi, my name is Irene Wu. I'm Acting Chief Data Officer in the International Bureau here at the FCC, and my word would be transformation.
I'm George Bennett, Computer Science Corporation, and no one has mentioned clothing malfunction. But in the spirit of the event, reboot.
I was really thinking we might make it all the way around the room. Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Dave Ritz. I'm with Computer Sciences Corporation, and my word is re-engineering.
Hello, my name is Katia Albanese, and I'm with Concepts Inc., and my word is access.
My name is Catherine DiGiovanni, and I'm with Concepts Inc., and my word is accessibility.
My name is Jamal Mazrui. I'm Deputy Director of the FCC's Accessibility and Innovation Initiative. My thought is cloud-enhanced accessibility.
Okay. My name is Ted Drake. I'm a developer at Yahoo, and my word was going to be Janet Jackson. But I'm going to have to say broadband now, because now that I'm reading about the broadband more and more, it's pretty exciting.
Hi, my name is Victor Tsaran. I'm a Senior Accessibility Program Manager at Yahoo, and my word is let's do it.
Hi, my name is Mike Byrne, and my single word is where.
Pam, a couple more people over there? No, yeah. All right, so if, just really quickly, could I get everyone who essentially works here at the FCC, whether you're an FCC employee or one of our beloved contractors, if all of those people could just stand up for 30 seconds. So if you, this is a great opportunity. If you do have a question that you'd like to ask someone about the FCC or about our technology or about things, generally outside of policy, feel free to ask any of us that are here. Some of us who have red badges, we're specifically here to help out with some stuff today. And if I could get some of the people that do hardcore development here at the FCC, could you just raise your hand if you're a coder or writing code here at the FCC? Thanks. And if I could also get the new media team to raise their hands for a second. We really have a great new media team that's located in the managing director's office so that we can develop the web as a resource for the whole agency. And we are working on a new website and actually have some wireframes that are up online that we'd love feedback on. So if you feel great to talk to the new media team as well. Thanks. The morning session and then the a little bit that we have in the afternoon, like the lightning demos, et cetera, is being live streamed right now and recorded. Wanted to let everyone know that. We're about to go into a panel where we can talk about the different tracks of the day and some of the resources that are available, maybe answer some questions. After the panel finishes, which will be around roughly around 10:30, maybe a little earlier, we'd like people who have ideas of things that they would like to work on to actually, I think actually earlier than that, but right, around 9:50. So I take it back. We're going to have a short, let me try this again. We're going to have a short panel where we go through some of the resources and the projects that we're trying to accomplish today. At the end of that, at about 9:50, anyone who has a particular idea that they'd like to work on today want to come up and do like 30 to 45-second quick introductions of what you want to work on. We have a couple of other small projects that have developed ad hoc that we'll be talking about as well doing that. After we conclude with those ideas, we're going to get a little bit more of an in-depth presentation from Yahoo and their accessibility team about some of the tools that they have available. At that point, we will begin the day where everyone is free to do what they want and to work on the different projects. We do have lunch coming around noon. Around 1:30, we will do kind of lightning updates where people can talk about where they are or what help that they need. And then we're targeting for around 4:30 to have quick little demos or people giving status reports of what they got done. And with that, I'm going to step around to the DS here, and we'll start talking about what else is happening today. Yeah? Sure. I think that might work.
Does this work yet? Okay. For the ideas, if you want to share ideas, I'd recommend sending something to Twitter using the hashtag, which is FCC Dev Day. That way at 9:50, we'll already have a lot of ideas that have been floating around.
So I'm just going to quickly say a word about the three main tracks that we have today. Well, are there any quick questions that have come up that need an answer? You're not receiving the live presentation? Okay, we'll look into that. Thanks. So there are, as you probably got in the RSVPs, we're kind of have three large categories of activities today. The first one is we have some space for presentation. So if people want to do little demos or we want to have some more in-depth tutorials or things, we have that organized. What room is that going to be in, the presentation? Just down the hall? Okay, it's in the room just down the hall. But we'll have people to help find it. The other thing is that the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act was passed and signed into law in early October. And one of the requirements of that act, which we'll hear more about, is to create a clearinghouse for accessibility with information communication technologies. So we're going to have one of the main tracks is for people that are interested in beginning to put together or understanding the criteria, what tools we need for the clearinghouse. We also, and then thirdly, we have a kind of the general free hack, what you want to work on, who you'd like to collaborate with, and then other projects as they come up through the day. And with that, I'd like to actually introduce Michael Byrne, who is the FCC's first Geographic Information Officer. And Mike's going to talk a little bit about some stuff that's been happening in that area with data as well as with APIs. Mike?
Thanks. Thanks, Greg. So thanks for the introduction, and thanks everyone for being here today. We're really excited that everyone's come and actually filled the room. It's a great opportunity for us. So my one word was where, because I'm a card-carrying geographer, which means I'm interested in that one question, where? Where are things? How do these things relate to other things? How can these things, understanding that notion of where, help us in the policy world? And I think Steve hit on a couple of really important points when he introduced the topic this morning. FCC is really interested in more citizens engagement and this notion of the administration's policy goal for ubiquitous broadband deployment. So I get the fortunate opportunity to help lead the national broadband map development. And those two items sit squarely in the national broadband map focus. Congress mandated the national broadband map to be two things, online, searchable, and interactive. I know that sounds like three, but they actually said it is two. Which was pretty novel for a national map effort, right? We're not talking about a paper map. We're talking about a map that has to be online and in a new way interactive. And I'm really excited to be here and help lead that effort that makes a national mapping effort totally different than anything we've ever seen. So that's really important to us. We've got a couple goals on that map. We really want to make sure that the map helps drive the notion of getting to ubiquitous availability. So we should be able to look at it and go, okay, where are places that have this kind of quality? Where are places that don't have ubiquitous access or ubiquitous speed? The second thing is it's got to look really cool, right? I mean, it has to be engaging and bring back people to ask more questions about where, how do these things relate? And suffice it to say, one of the things government does really, really well is collect data. And one of the things it doesn't do very well is make things look cool, right? That's just not our normal function. So we've taken the approach of building our national broadband map on a suite of APIs, and we hope to engage in communities like you guys to help make it better. And in fact, the whole reason FCC.gov/developer came about was because we built a prototype for the national broadband map and realized that those APIs would be ubiquitous. Juan, if you could raise your hand again, please. Juan Marin is the brains behind 3 of those APIs. They came about because of work Juan helped architect, and I hope you interact with him today because we expect to release probably 10 or 15 more minimum based on that. In the tract, for geospatial, get together, ask the question where, how can we answer where better, and I'm hoping that our great buddies at Development Seed can help lead some of that conversation, and I know Juan's going to be involved as well. So, thank you.
Great. So at fcc.gov/developer, which we launched only in September, you can see our initial APIs. And Mike, I do think you just have to say what a couple of those are, particularly the census block.
So the one that's most important to me is a census lookup. It listens for a latitude and longitude and returns the census block key of that lat and long. We've made a couple of enhancements, some style changes to the return, but we really feel that this is a Rosetta Stone for government data. It does something remarkably simple and remarkably fast, but also pretty abstract. All it does is release this 15-character digit where that lat long resides within. But that means that the opportunity to go look up just about 60 or 70% of other federal data based on census geography exists now and hadn't before. We really think that this is a milestone event for us.
We also have initial APIs that include the ability to look up an FRN, the ability to look up some license information from the new license view that has launched at fcc.gov/license-view. And you can also we have you can actually get some broadband information. We started our own broadband test, and we have over 1 million results, and we have that aggregated at the county level that you can look up through the API. We also have fcc.gov/data, which is kind of a great index to the different data sets that are available. It would be terrific throughout the day if people made notes of what we're missing or what's needed to make information more available. We know we have more to go, but what's the easiest and simplest thing we can do? And now let me turn it over to our special guests from Yahoo Accessibility Lab, Victor Sarin and Ted, and to tell a little bit about what you all have been doing.
Okay, this works, right?
Yeah.
So my name is Victor Saran. Again, as I said, I'm an accessibility manager at program manager at Yahoo, and so we are here to help bring the Yahoo developer spirit to the FCC. So so big shout out to YDN Yahoo Developer Network, but even bigger shout out to the Yahoo Accessibility team because we're here. And because it's all about access, really. You know, bringing data to everyone is really about access and sort of fits in the whole topic of accessibility. And to the left of me, I have Ted Drake, who is one of our star developers, and I'm happy to say Ted is now part of the Yahoo Accessibility team. So he's the guy who's all about hacking and doing like really weird things. So if you have any kind of weirdest idea, you just talk to Ted, and he probably in about 5 minutes he's going to help you execute it. So I just want to pass it on to Ted, and before I do that, just wanted to give you just a quick overview of what Yahoo Accessibility is all. Yahoo Accessibility team is about. You know, we're a team of about 3 people, and we do anything from sort of helping internal developers understand accessibility, helping them build accessibility into our platforms and frameworks and websites. We're also a lot about outreach, which is one of our, I guess, one of our main focus side, which is it's not enough just to talk to developers inside the company about accessibility. It's also about bringing an understanding of what's possible with the current Web 2.0 and APIs and platforms, what is possible, and so that other developers, once they understand what's possible, they can actually go ahead and go crazy and execute some of the ideas they've been dreaming about. Accessibility Lab, some of you may have know about, may know about this activity that we have. We have Accessibility Lab in Sunnyvale, in Bangalore. This is sort of the hub of all of the Yahoo accessibility related activities. And so this is who we are, and come talk to us, and be happy to meet all or some of you. And so have a sort of enjoyable developer day, and I'll just pass it to Ted to say a couple of words.
I've been with Yahoo for 5 years, and I've built, not by myself, worked with teams on multiple properties. And Victor, when I first started, Victor and Alan and I started the Accessibility Stakeholders Group as a group of people that work at Yahoo that were concerned about accessibility. And then over the years, we've worked on a lot of different campaigns to get these sites better. We've done a lot of lectures and teaching, and it's really great now to be a team where we, I'm no longer working on a property where I have to worry about advertisements and stuff. I can actually sit there and hack and build products and prototypes and do research and more outreach. And also I used to work in Europe, and I was part of the Yahoo Developer Network Evangelist system over there. So it's fun to go back out now again and do these kind of events.
You have one? Yeah. Okay, right here. Now our next presenter is Jamal Mazrui, the Deputy Director for the Accessibility and Innovation Forum here at the FCC.
Thanks. I first want to make sure you all know who Pam Gregory is. Pam is the director of our initiative. This is an initiative that came out of recommendations in the National Broadband Plan. As you may know, Congress directed the FCC to develop a plan to bring high-speed internet access and the benefits thereof to all Americans. Last March, we delivered that report, and included in it were a number of recommendations related to disability access. One of them was to have an accessibility and innovation initiative. And what we're trying to do is Well, in talking to people during the development of the plan, we talked to people in industry, government, consumers, and we heard about the need for new regulations, and our recommendations included many of the things that became part of the new law. But we also heard about the need for ways to be developed so that people who want to work on developing accessible solutions can do so, and that the FCC is well positioned to help facilitate that kind of collaborative problem solving. So that's the direction in our initiative that we're trying to do, and it goes in parallel track with the implementation of the new law, which we are also excited to be working on, and that's a major responsibility. And Pam and I are thrilled to be working with longtime leaders in this area, Elizabeth Lyle and Karen Peltz-Strauss. So this is one example of facilitating collaborative problem-solving innovation. We also have a challenge put up on a new media platform that the General Services Administration, GSA, has developed called challenge.gov. That is to challenge people to develop a multimedia presentation that shows how accessibility can be enhanced using the current communications powers of the internet. So anybody who wants to go to challenge.gov, I think we're still listed on the front page. The official title is called Lifted by the Cloud, Visions of Cloud Enhanced Accessibility. With respect to the new law, we have a particular responsibility to develop a clearinghouse of information on accessible information and communication technologies. That phrase, information and communication technologies, is the one that the U.S. Access Board is now using in its refresh of Section 508 and Section 255 technical standards for accessibility. And the idea here is to have a place that people with disabilities, families, and professionals can go to find out what is currently out there, because it's certainly a win-win situation for people to be able to find out solutions that already exist and can be taken advantage of. And so we're involving you, developers and citizens, in helping us design and build that clearinghouse. We also welcome ideas for the name of that clearinghouse, by the way.
When does the clearinghouse statutorily have to be launched?
In a year from when the law was signed, so I think that would be October the 8th of 2011.
So this is a pretty extraordinary opportunity, the fact that we're beginning with developers and that we have an entire year to figure out how to make this so that it's really exciting, that it's compatible with users and compatible with industry. So we don't have to build it today, but it's pretty exciting that we're actually starting right now.
Our initiative is also going to be presenting at the IDEAS conference in December, and probably at the CSUN conference in March. So we encourage you all to keep in touch with us. If you're not already subscribed to the Access Info mailing list, you might want to sign up, because we've been sending out a lot of announcements. You can go to broadband.gov/accessibility and innovation, all lowercase, to find our website. Thanks.
So if you have something that you wanted to present to the group before we get started, an idea that you've thought about or something that you want to work on today, if people could just come up over here to the right of the podium and line up, that would be terrific. I know that there were definitely I think some people from Developer Seed and who had some thoughts, but great. Just kind of come on up, and if not, that's okay too. The breakout room that I mentioned earlier is C438, which is just down to the hall. The live streaming, ordinarily we don't stream it back into here, but our rapid response network team has actually made it work so the live streaming you can pick up here now, and that's working. If you're having trouble with the wiki, or if you're having trouble with anything else, you can email live questions at fcc.gov, and we'll be tracking that. or you can tap me, or you can tap my colleague Gray Brooks on the shoulder, and we can help out. So let's see. So Tom, do you want to kick this off and kind of get? Oops, be careful there.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, Tom, do you want to kick this off and start?
Sure. Yeah, so I guess I'll host for something that we're doing.
What you
Yeah, sure.
guys are thinking of working on today, and where you're sitting, and what
Yeah,
you're looking for.
So I'm from Development Seed, and we like to talk about how to put together, data sites, especially with maps and with visualizations from the ground up. So all the various levels of data cleaning, verification, putting it in systems, moving it around, connecting it from place to place. And hopefully I'll be able to just tell this story by, actual work that we've done and other people have done and actual technologies.
Is there a particular thing that you'd like to try to get to today? Or get, accomplish, or a target that you have for today?
As far as, I'd like to perhaps try to explain a really complicated website or two, and a really complicated data strategy or two that we've worked on.
Okay, great, thanks. Steve?
I'm Steve Jacobs, and I think it would be interesting to talk about mobile access to the clearinghouse. There are 293 million mobile subscribers in the U.S., so we can assume that quite a few of them may want to access whatever it is we're going to think of and come up with using a mobile device. And another interesting statistic is that 93% of the U.S. population has been penetrated by wireless use. And that's it.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Gina, and I actually have a pitch for developers who are looking for something to work on today. The project that I work on is called ThinkUp. You can check us out at thinkupapp.com. Open source, web application, PHP, MySQL. And our goal is, at Expert Labs, which is the company that funds, my organization, which funds the project, is to help policymakers make better decisions by connecting them with expert citizens on social networks like Facebook and Twitter. So the way that ThinkUp does this is it goes out to Facebook and Twitter and gathers posts and replies and links and friendships and organizes those in different ways. So for example, Twitter doesn't let you easily see all the responses to a given tweet in one view, but ThinkUp does. So if you are looking for something to work on today, please check out thinkupapp.com. Like I said, source is completely open. We're hosted on GitHub. We've got a great small community which is growing. And when you start running ThinkUp, you kind of gather all that data onto your own server. And what we're looking for today is for some new, interesting visualizations of that data. So if you imagine an organization like the FCC, for example, if they put out a prompt on Facebook or Twitter and they get 600 responses back, what are ways that we can visualize those conversations to let the good ideas bubble up and and collapse the repetitive stuff or the spam? So check it out, thinkupapp.com, and thanks for your time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Antti. I'm from Computech. I've been working on a mobile app specifically for the iPhone using the APIs that the FCC has. So if you have done something similar or have ideas, please come find me. I'm sitting right here under the big projector, and I'd love to hear what ideas you might have. Thank you.
And is everybody Twitter? You guys have all Twittered the ideas, or you'll Twitter them when you get back to your desk? Yep.
Hello, I'm Andrea Durham. I'm from the Museum of Science in Boston. We have done a lot of innovation in the area of universal design of exhibits. We're very concerned that in other museums that we visit, there's a proliferation of touch screens, and we're concerned about inaccessible exhibitry. We, for the most part, do not use touch screens in our museum, but there is a lack of available other alternatives for exhibit developers to use in making exhibits accessible for everyone. Our goal is accessibility for everyone. And so we are working We're embarking upon a development project to work on new technologies, new ways to access data, new ways for multi-touch, multi-users to access other than multi-touch screens. And we are very interested in finding partners to work on this development project. It's all going to be open source to the museum industry, to all the museums in the country when we're finished. Thank you.
Hi, hello. My name is Giovanni Galvez. I'm a technical developer for CPC closed captioning, and we are currently partners with Apple, and we utilize QuickTime technologies to basically take broadcast television closed captions and quickly convert them to web closed captions, specifically for the iTunes Store, websites, YouTube, and so forth, and also mobile phones and iPads. And recently, about a few years ago, we developed a product called Mac Caption. We have a product on Windows also called Caption Maker, which can analyze MPEG, ATSC transport streams and program streams, and extract the closed caption data and turn it into either a text transcript, SRT file, XML file, or whatever it is that we desire to do with it, and also edit the video and not lose the closed caption data, so that you can re-upload it to the web and still maintain that caption data. I'll be sitting over here in this middle table. I'll be demonstrating how you can convert television captions to web closed captions without losing any data whatsoever. In addition to that, we also work with the Smithsonian. Recently, we've installed a closed caption movie theater in the east wing of the National Gallery, wherein a button on the wall connects to a Mac computer and automatically turns on closed captions for any patrons who desire to read the text or either are deaf or hard of hearing. So if you want to know more about that or anything related to closed captions, that's all I do. That's my job. I'll be here, and I'm a good resource. So please stop by and say hello.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Neil Chilson from Wilkinson Barker Nauer, a telecom law firm here in DC, and a lot in my day-to-day job, I spend a lot of time using the electronic comment filing system, which is where all the comments on all the open proceedings at the FCC are filed and retrieved. The FCC very recently created enabled RSS feeds from this, which is really good for anybody who wants to pay attention to what the FCC is doing. That did obsolete a site that I had created called FCC Feeds that had gone and screen scraped ECFS and created RSS feeds, and that's very happy. But what I'm really interested in today is maybe thinking about how we could create a web API to get at these comments. There are hundreds and hundreds that are filed every day on all the proceedings that are important: net neutrality, broadband, spectrum issues, and having a way to get at these comments programmatically and to maybe analyze them using web-based applications, I think would be super, super useful. So I'm going to be sitting at this table right here.
Right, and in fact, we actually, Eric Hansen works on ECF, and we have already done an internal API for submitting comments. And I think we're starting to work on some of the next phases. We haven't rolled it out publicly because we've been doing some testing, et cetera. So ECFS would be a great project for some people to work on today. Also, we have been experimenting internally with Solar, the search engine, as for powering search on the website, and we've also started to look at it for ECF and some other sources as well. So if there's anyone who has expertise in Solar or is interested, come see me about that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Horwitz with Convo Communications, and we're focusing on we're video relay service provider, which is communication between deaf and hearing people using video technology. Now, most deaf people rely on hardware devices, and a hearing group, of course, can use voice and telephone and any type of telephone, but a deaf person is still very limited to very specific devices. Convo just set up a cloud-based video application. It's our baby, our flagship product, and our hopes is that we can make this a fully accessible product. You can use it from a mobile device, from any computer. So we'd love to work with industry leaders to make this video fully accessible to the deaf community.
Hi everyone, Jim Tobias from Inclusive Technologies, and I've got two hats I'm wearing today, two hats and no tie, I guess. The first is National Public Inclusive Infrastructure. We've heard talk already about how the cloud can provide or support accessibility services, and we have an animation that we'll be showing later that describes a particular initiative that's going in that direction that has both U.S., Canadian, EU, and Asian participation at a pretty high level of enthusiasm. It's a very developer-friendly environment. It's not replacing the assistive technology and accessibility features that people want to build. It's a way of implementing them, a way of market reinforcing them, a way of managing them all along the value chain. So hope people get a chance to see that animation and talk with me about it. The other interest that I have that I really want to hear from people here is about the clearinghouse. I'm working on a number of information resources, including one that's supported by the NTIA BTOP program that's developing a grassroots, user-oriented and user harvesting information resource. And so we're very interested in a kind of naturalistic or ethnographic understanding of, if we want to improve the information flow to consumers with disabilities, we need to begin by understanding what they do now to get information, how they share information now, and what can we take from that, both in the sense of information and in the sense of practices and the kind of sociology of information, and engender more support from it, more administrative support from the FCC and others to kind of turbocharge it and match up user experience with industry understanding of the accessibility of their products. So we've got a list of online resources, listservs, and what have you that we're harvesting information from every day. We want to make sure that your source of information that you create or sustain or that you use is represented on our list so that we can be magnifying and multiplying the outlets that your information sources have. Thanks.
Hello, Craig Fawcett, Politics 360. We develop mobile applications and social networks for membership organizations and policy groups. In fact, we developed an iPhone app, an Android app, and a BlackBerry application for Mobile Future, which uses FCC's feeds. We have resources, compliance guides, and events fed through the application. So Steve, it was great to hear your suggestion on the mobile front, and we're looking for continuing to work with the feeds that you provide and looking to help to develop APIs.
That's the last of the ideas that we had coming up. So we're about to shift over, and I did want to point out, I think one of the common challenges that we face is how do we keep track of the different things that are going on, and what's the appropriate page or part of the FCC website to present that information? Given that as a government agency we can't, we have to be fairly objective. We can't come across as if we're favoring a particular solution or something like that. But making the information available to the public, how do we track it? How do we share it? How do we present these innovations and connect people through the FCC website? I think that that's a great challenge I'd like to throw out there today if someone wanted to try to mock up or kind of think through the issues around either presenting that information or tracking it. Also, I got a ping about universalsubtitles.org, which is a new organization that is exploring crowdsourced subtitling. And is, I think, funded or involved in the Mozilla Drumbeat project. It's universalsubtitles.org. Victor,
Just a quick comment. Some of you may have read the article, ominous article, "The Web is Dead." I don't know if you've read that, but it's a pretty interesting read anyway. And so the APIs kind of help us to bridge that problem, if in fact the web is dead and we're all going to be accessing it through mobile devices or whatever we decide to, this is where exactly APIs kick in, so sort of to help us build on the new Accessibility 2.0 challenge. Just a couple of comments. So this is why, Ted, we have some tools with us that want you guys to pay attention to YQL, Yahoo Pipes, and other things. We also have Chris Blauck from AOL, and AOL has been doing a lot of work on jQuery accessibility. So if some of you decide to use jQuery to build your interface, please find Chris. He's one of the best resources we have here, I guess, in-house. So that's basically it. Just wanted to make a couple of these comments.
There's also a project that had started on a separate path where we're putting together a gallery of accessible web components. So if you have an accessible web component or you know of accessible web components, either on the wiki today or somewhere else, somebody taking on gathering a list of those or links, etc., because I think that one of the great things that we could accomplish is to just take an inventory of really wonderful accessible components that are out there. Jim? Yeah, Jim is coming back up. Jim has been an excellent resource and educator to me about many of the things that are happening out there. So
one more hat and still no tie. I heard a lot of talk about geographical information systems, and they're obviously very important and exciting and powerful. There is a challenge through the Office of Science and Technology Policy at the White House to develop geolocation applications for people with disabilities, especially for travel, for transportation. So this is not only, can the bus schedule be presented on a desktop accessibly, but can real-time transit information be available on a mobile device in an accessible manner? Jamal Mazrui sits on the task group that's working on that. So anyone who's interested in the intersection of GIS and accessibility, maybe we should spend some time talking today.
Okay, so we are almost running right on time. The last thing that we're going to do before we break up and start working on the different things and have a little break and then get started, I'm going to turn the floor over completely to Victor and Ted, who are very gracious to travel out from California, and they have been doing a lot of interesting work, and they're going to kind of introduce us to some of the tools that are available. And we're really excited about the possibility of people combining government APIs with private industry APIs and creating really new, innovative mashups.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, for inviting us as well. I think it's going to be great, and hopefully this is not the last time. So it's not going to be me, unfortunately. It's going to be Ted doing all the work.
Way for me to plug my computer in?
I think that there is a way to plug your computer in, but I think that it might take us 30 seconds. It might take us a minute to figure that out.
Okay. So while we're waiting, there was one thing that came up on the Twitter feed, and that was an API to know the status of proceedings for the data people out there. I think I've got enough battery juice. I just need a television cable.
Are there any iPhone developers here? Are there any iPhone developers here? No? Okay.
I was introduced to open government data not long ago. I was at the WWW 2010 conference where they were talking about linked data with Tim Berners-Lee. And it's really been something that I've been following for a while, trying to get as much government data, playing around with mashups and stuff. And they're doing a lot of stuff with geocoding. And one of the things that's interesting about geocoding, the first thing you might think of is, I'm going to grab some data and throw it on a map. But try thinking about what you can do without a map. If I know that this data is talking about this location, and that data is talking about this location, and that data is talking about this location, we have a common point of interest. So now all of a sudden you can start mashing up things like water bills with bird migration, with temperature changes and things like that. So geolocation is really cool if you start thinking beyond the maps and start thinking about how these completely different data sources can start, hooking together. Yeah. I think it's already, yeah. About to say I lost my mouse already, so I figured it.
No, we're still not getting it. What resolution are you running at?
That's a good question. Let me.
1024 by 768 is the safe margin.
Yeah, let me disconnect this real quick and then do that. Sorry about the technical snafus. Wouldn't be a conference without one. Victor, do you want to tell me anything about the Accessibility Lab?
I don't know. Hey guys, you want to hear about Accessibility Lab? Well, you have to see it really. No, anyway. So the Accessibility Lab, as I mentioned, this is just really to fill in the gap, while they're connecting all the projectors. So I'm going to talk some nonsense for the next 2 minutes, okay? Just kidding. So we have the Accessibility Lab in Sunnyvale, which is sort of a place where we introduce our engineers to accessibility. A lot of the people sort of know, about APIs, and they understand how to program the most complex interfaces and do amazing things with the web and beyond the web. But when it comes to accessibility, obviously because most people don't ever have to not use the mouse, if I can say that, or have not to look at the screen. For them, whenever we talk about accessibility, it's like you're talking about Section 508 or something like that. What the heck is that? You know what I mean? So what we do, we take engineers into the Accessibility Lab and we run them through a series of simulations where they can become paralyzed from the neck down for the next 5 minutes and browse their favorite websites, or they can, we can turn off the screen for them and they can get a sense for what it feels like, to browse their particular site with a screen reader. One thing that does work over and over again is that when you throw people at their own creation, which means they worked for the last couple of months on something and they think they've done such a great job building this or that, all of them obviously are very proud people who, top-notch programmers. And you show them that this is, little software called Screen Reader doesn't do anything special, right? You throw it at their creation or their, website, whatever, and they suddenly get scared because they can't figure out how to use it, because suddenly you can't tab to things or you can't do certain things, or, there are small links on the web page and you throw on-screen keyboard at those small links, and they suddenly can't pinpoint this small link to click on it with the on-screen mouse or whatever. So while these are simple, in some ways gimmicky things, they do waken people up and make them think differently about what really quality means. It's one thing to build something that I think is a good quality. It's another thing to build something that a particular user thinks is a good quality. And so we've done this thing in Accessibility Lab in Sunnyvale. We have a similar lab in Bangalore because lots of our development activities come from India, as you can imagine. No surprise there, I guess. And so it's equally important to make sure that this work happens on a global level. And I'm a big fan of sort of emerging market strategy because I think while in the US everyone has access to broadband, latest mobile phone technology, well, it's not everyone, at least many people. It may, in emerging markets or developing countries, this is absolutely not the case. And if you ever try to browse something like Facebook or any other sort of heavy loaded website on a bus on a very shaky Wi-Fi, you'll pretty much know what I mean. I mean, this is the kind of experience people get on an everyday basis, in India or I don't even want to talk about Africa because that's a totally different thing. So we consider it very important to to do accessibility on a global level. Okay, Ted, are you ready?
Just about.
Oh, come on now. I said everything I wanted to say.
Think of some more stuff.
Okay, some more stuff. All right.
It's very, I think it's very interesting, the idea of throwing people at their own creations.
Right.
And simulating different experiences. I'm curious if there are other people in the room who do that, because that sounds pretty pretty new. Do other people have that capability when they do?
Social Security has an accessibility lab.
Can you say a little bit more about what Social Security is doing? And let me get you a mic.
Thanks, Dan. Right here. I'm not on the. This one's not working. I'm not on the accessibility team there, but we do have a team in our systems organization that does very thorough accessibility and usability testing, and part of that usability is getting people to come in and sort of throw them at their own stuff, and just let them try it out. So it's actually two teams. There's a usability team and an accessibility team, but for the projects where we can get folks to engage those two teams both early on, they do get to sort of see their own creation.
Well, we're gonna go on with this next. Okay, I think we're set up.
Sure. Adding to that a little bit, the Nancy Ward is the information coordinator for the medical reference desk. Is that the one I'm thinking of? I think she was also working, if Nancy Ward is the one I'm thinking of, on, it's basically I think for the Internal Revenue Service, a way for people to understand the taxes. Now she's got a cognitive disability. So she's actually one of the people that need this service, and she's helping write the information. So that would be one way where people are actually involved. Sorry for a little bit of the mix-up, but let's go ahead and start talking. What I would like to introduce you to today is a few things that we do at Yahoo. We do a lot of hack events, and hacking for us is where we spend 24 hours building whatever we want. And then we show it off. We also go to universities and spend a week teaching students about technology, and then we work with them as they build things. But we also, I want to talk a little bit about accessibility, some of the products we have, and some of the things you can do to inspire you to work today, and when you go home, work for the rest of the week and the rest of the month until the end of the year, and so on. So what do we want? Easy data access. We want to be able to share our data, and we want to be able to grab that data and mash it up and present it in different ways. We want to be able to prototype quickly, and one of the ways that we can prototype quickly is by using platforms. Platforms that are provided by Yahoo or by Google, jQuery. There are some CSS like Blueprint. But instead of us opening up a blank piece of paper, a blank file, and starting building everything from scratch every time, we'll save a lot of time by reutilizing these platforms. So I'm going to go over a few platforms today. We want accessibility. One of the greatest things about this project with the broadband is that accessibility is being considered from the very beginning. It's not something that's being tacked on 30, 40, 50 years later like the telephone or the television. And we'd like to build something cool at the end of the day. We'd like to be able to show, hey, in 4 hours I was able to put this and that together, and I've got something that I can show off. It may not be perfect, but at least we got something that we started with. At the last hack day, we had this guy who wanted to create a mobile-based social network so that when you go to a conference, you'd be able to say hi to the other people that have this application on their iPhone, keep track of them all. And in 24 hours, he built a pretty nifty thing. He's been working on it in his spare time at Yahoo, and now it's getting ready to be released. If not through Yahoo, I think he might be releasing it as just an open source project. We do this a lot. You get an idea, you go for it. Now, unfortunately, the ideas I do during Hack Day are so stupid that they never go any further. one of the things I'd like to talk to you about today is Yahoo's YQL. And I left some stickers on your tables so you can remember when you go home. At Yahoo, what we had this problem with is I worked on several properties that borrowed information from other properties. Like we needed to go to Yahoo Shopping to get this information. We needed to go to Yahoo Answers. We needed to go to Flickr. We needed to go to Yahoo News. Every time we made a request, it was a completely different API. And so you had to know all of these different APIs. You had to know all of these different request parameters. You had to worry about, can they handle this traffic or that traffic? So we built this thing called Yahoo Query Language. And it's pretty simple, but also pretty amazing. So what it does is it takes any data anywhere on the internet, and it allows you through a simple interface to access that data using a SQL-like language. Now that might sound, you may not understand that, but when I start showing you some examples, it's like, wow, this is so nice. The other thing that's great about it is that, let's say I'm a small museum and I have a database of my collection. I could easily make that database available through the web, and it might just be an XML file that I dump on there. By using YQL, YQL will actually cache the requests. So if someone's requesting that XML data 10 times in 30 minutes, YQL is going to grab it once, maybe twice, depending on the cache level. And I'm not going to keep hitting your servers. The other thing that YQL allows me to do is it might say, go to this XML document, grab this node from that XML document, and then use that as a resource to grab another XML document from another site. And maybe I'm going to use that and I'm going to combine that with 3 or 4 other services. And that all comes back to me as a single XML document. So YQL is not only caching the results, but it's also doing all the heavy lifting, all of the multi-requests, and it's bringing it back as one single XML document, or JSON. So you can also use JSON. The other thing it did is when YQL first came to life, the engineers within Yahoo were building all of these tables. We call them tables. And it's basically an XML document that says, I'm going to create a table and its name is this. This is where the data is located. And here's how you make a request to an API. These are the parameters that are required, or these are the optional parameters. But it didn't scale very well. So they made it an open resource. Anybody can build a table. And building a table takes maybe about, the first one might take you an hour just to try to figure your way through and make sure it works and everything. But once you've done one, the next one takes about 15 minutes. It's fairly easy. But then we also had an issue with what happens if you need authentication. Like I want to go to Twitter and I want to be able to create an application where someone can post a tweet. Well, they added a way where you can use JavaScript. You can actually write the JavaScript and it runs on the server side. So you can actually tell the YQL servers, I want you to do this and this and this, and that allows authentication. It also allows you to store securely passwords so that other people can use it, but it's got the API key or something built in. Now you can use this XML document, you can store it on your own server and only use it yourself, or you can take that XML document and you can upload it to our GitHub repository. And when you upload it to GitHub, about every 2 or 3 months they take all of the new additions and they upload it, and then anybody can quickly access that new API. So last week I put together APIs, some tables for the FCC data, and I also put one together for recovery.gov. So the FCC tables, I think I put together about a dozen. Took me about a few hours, mainly because I wanted to test them and make sure they worked. And the recovery.gov took me about a half an hour because there's a lot of parameters. So we're going to show you a little bit about YQL. Let me just quickly go to a, I can't show it because it's not working. Maybe what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to give you a brief intro right now, and I hope to come back in about, during the open development time, I'll be doing another lecture that goes more into some of the code examples. Because I realize this is going to be really brief for 30 minutes to be able to talk about a lot. So YQL is at developer.yahoo.com/YQL. Developer.yahoo.com is the resource that we use to be able to share everything. So any data, any CSS, any JavaScript, anything that we provide, you can get at developer.yahoo.com. And one of the things to remember about if you go to the next screen, you'll see what the YQL console looks like. And the one that's in here is an example where I'm saying, get the latitude and longitude and the name from a spreadsheet that I had saved a comma separated value spreadsheet on my server. Grab those three values, and then so you basically say, here's the spreadsheet, and here are the columns of the spreadsheet, and what it's returning is the latitude, longitude, and name. From that, I was able to build a web page that showed you the table. You would be able to search through the villages of Darfur that were attacked over the last 5 years and build a map. So, simple statements in YQL. For instance, Twitter, I would say select all, select star, from Twitter.search. So the name of the table is Twitter, and the subtable is search. It could be Twitter.update, Twitter.search, where query equals FCC data. That's all there is to know. I don't need to know anything about Twitter's particularities. I just need to say select all from Twitter.search, where query equals X. A bit more selective, what was mentioned with the government data is having a single point of reference for different locations. We use something called WOA ID, Where on Earth ID. It's also used by Twitter and a few other organizations. I don't know if it's the same. If it is the same, it would be nice to have a table where you could actually compare WOA IDs with whatever the FCC has put together with the census block. What a WOA ID is, FCC building would be an ID, but we know its parent is this neighborhood, and the parent of that neighborhood is Washington, D.C., and the parent of that neighborhood and that neighborhood. So you can go from the Eiffel Tower to Paris to France to Europe, and you have this relationship of parents. So I want to get the WOA ID for San Francisco. So I would say select WOA ID, which is one of the nodes in the XML, from the GeoPlaces table where text equals San Francisco, California. Now I'm not saying select all because I don't want to know the name, the latitude, the longitude, the boundaries, or anything like that. I just simply want that ID. So that's how we can be a little bit more selective with YQL. We can also grab XML. So for instance, I was looking through the FCC data site, the TCB designating authorities. I could just say select all from XML, where URL, and it points to that XML document. Same thing with the equipment authorization grantee registrations. Select all from that XML, and then I point to that XML document. Now, if I didn't want all of it, I could, like if it was a really large XML document with a lot of nodes, you could just say select name, comma, year, comma, location, or something like that, whatever's in that XML. And from spreadsheets, now one of the things I noticed when I went on data.gov and fcc.gov/data, I think it is, there are a lot of spreadsheets that are available. We have a built-in table for comma separated values, but not a built-in table for an XLS. So it would be nice for someone to build an open table for Excel spreadsheets. So because of that, I did have to download this data, and I transformed it to CSV, and I stored that on my own server. So basically select latitude, longitude, and name from CSV. CSV is the name of the table, where the URL is equal to this and the column headers are equal to that. And then that gives you access to spreadsheets all over the web, and we know there's a lot of those. We also can combine tables. There's a lot of FCC data APIs that are based on latitude and longitude. But what if I wanted to get the information for a name like New York City or Washington, D.C.? So I'm saying go to the GeoPlace Finder, which is one of the services we provide. Give me back the latitude and longitude for a word like New York City. Take those latitude and longitudes and pass that to the data broadband test service, and then that's the way I can get stuff back. So I'm not having to ask the user to type in latitude and longitude. They can just do a simple word search, and then we return those results. So the result was select all from fcc.data.broadband.test. That's the name of the table. Where latitude and longitude are in, select latitude and longitude from place finder where text equals Los Angeles. And that one geo.placefinder1 means I only want one result returned. You can also do paginations, and you can set how much you want returning. And to make it a little bit more interesting, I could say, give me 5 or 6 FCC data responses in a single XML by basically saying select all from query multi, which is a table that combines stuff. It does this using that JavaScript execute command. You don't need to know anything about that. So I'm just basically saying select all from query multi, and here's all of the different requests that I want to make. And then it returns it back in one large cached XML. You can imagine how much time this would take if you had to do it yourself and you had to know all those data APIs. Sure.
Where will you get the references, like, for example, to know the name of the source that you're querying?
He's asking where would you know the reference to get the source that you're querying. So if you're looking for a table, are you looking for the YQL table or the original API?
For example, you were saying select all from a certain place, right?
Right.
Where would you get, how do you know where, where to search from?
There's, if you make your own table, let's say I create a table and I want to put it on my own server, you would say use this XML document as table equals foo.
But you're talking about querying stuff out there,
right?
Not that is mine.
In the YQL console, we have basically the workspace where you make your select statement, and then there's the resulting XML. And along the right column are all the tables that you can use. So basically on the right column, you can find the data source that you want, you click on it, and it gives you a sample request.
All the tables?
All the open tables that people have submitted that are shared.
So you have a bot searching for available XML sources?
We have a GitHub repository. So if you want to build a table and make it available to everyone, then you basically write the table, you add it to GitHub, and then we take it from GitHub and make it available to everyone. So if it's an open table where you want everybody to be able to use it, it would be seen on the right column of the YQL.
People that want their data seen by everyone will have to register with your service.
They would basically upload it to GitHub, which is open source. Or if I wanted to write a table, I could write a table, put it on my server, write a blog post, and people could use it that way.
And this will be a static HTML document?
XML.
XML document. So let's say I have a web service that is, pretty much live, it changes depending on data they get into their system. Would that be something that could be available?
Yes, he's asking if he has a data service that changes regularly. If you have a data service and it's either an XML document that's updated regularly or a data service API, that's the way that people would be able to access it, is creating that open table that defines what it is.
Ted, I've been interested in checking out YQL for a while, and it's very what you're describing as a kind of wrapper around other services and information out there. Could you run a couple of presentations throughout the day in the presentation room, kind of giving tutorials for it? Because
Yes,
I know that I would like to get to that.
I worried a little bit about time. I do have a presentation I would like to give that gives examples of how to build a table, how to use the table, and building pages that use it.
All right, so let me just ask the crowd, the wisdom of the crowd here. Does it make sense at, say, 11 o'clock or something like that to have that presentation in the other room, more in depth for YQL from people? Okay, yes? All right, great. Okay, so I think that's probably a good time to give everyone a little bit of a break and get sorted, and then we can do that, and then maybe we'll do one this afternoon as well.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Do you want me to pass over the rest of the YQL and continue?
I think so.
Are we out of time?
Well, maybe. I mean, I think if you have another topic that you want to get to, let's get to that second topic.
Okay.
And then we'll break up. And then I think because people should really kind of take their laptops and try the YQL.
Okay. I just realized that I gave you guys the wrong. The reason why I was going so much into YQL is I gave you the YQL presentation instead of the other one. So let me go into the other one. I started looking and going, God, there's a lot of YQL in this one. We won't have to worry about switching over the presentations. I'll just switch mine. Because I do want to talk a little bit about accessibility. One of the things I do want to talk about briefly, and I'll mention it later in a later presentation, is the YUI, CSS, and JavaScript. And once again, there are other platforms for CSS and JavaScript. jQuery is a great one. Within Yahoo, we wanted to create a CSS and JavaScript framework that we could use internally, because we wanted to not have to worry about Internet Explorer 6 versus Internet Explorer 7 versus Firefox versus Opera and all that. We didn't want to have to, each person have to keep rewriting that code. So we created a set of cascading style sheets that simplify all of the browser quirks. It also provides a grid network so that we can create pages with grids, and it establishes a base fonts. By using these CSS files, you can remove about 75% of what you usually end up doing when you build a web page, and it provides a consistency in cross-browser support. We also do it in a way that you only make a single request to our servers, and then that file has been cached around the world. So if someone grabs your site from another country or another continent, it's going to be a quicker response. We do the same thing with JavaScript. We have two libraries, YUI 2 and YUI 3. YUI 2 is what I'll show a little bit today later on. It's what powers most of Yahoo. But we're moving to YUI 3, which is a completely new generation of JavaScript. It's much more modular and object-oriented. But some of it's still under development, and some of the components I wanted to show are not quite there yet. So if you're building things, one of the nice things about YUI's libraries is they're built for Yahoo, they're used within Yahoo, and you can guarantee that they're fast, they're made efficiently, and that they've also been highly tested for security. And also the JavaScript APIs do have accessibility built in. Our grid builder, if you use our grid builder on YUI, already adds ARIA roles. The navigation JavaScript deals with roles and focus. So you can already assume that a lot of the accessibility is built in without you having to worry about it. We also have design patterns. So if you want to throw together a page and you're not sure how things should look, we've already done all of the user testing and all the designing, and we provide them to you as these libraries. So I want to do pagination for a search engine. Well, you go to the pagination for a search engine, and it shows you what we've learned from all of our testing and gives you sample code in order to build that kind of navigation. From something simple like that to a carousel of images to how do you support people that are on social networks and you want to encourage them to write good comments. That kind of stuff. We've done a lot of that, and that's all available in the design patterns. And how much time do I have? Because I've lost it.
I think another 5 minutes would be great.
For accessibility, the things that we look at it with Yahoo is, you could call it universal design. We just kind of tend to call it good design, good standard web development. If you build a web page properly, it's going to be pretty accessible from the get-go. Where it gets a little bit difficult is where people start messing with the code. They start using the wrong methods of building code, or they use CSS instead of JavaScript, where JavaScript would be better, or they use JavaScript where HTML would be better. So the guiding policies that we use for building accessible websites at Yahoo, we start off by building a page with no JavaScript. So if someone comes to our site and there's a form, there's a complex interaction like customizing the look and feel of a Yahoo Finance news page, and they come in with JavaScript turned off, it's going to work. It may work by when they click a form, it resubmits the page, but it will work without JavaScript. And the CSS is designed for the page to look good with JavaScript turned off. When someone turns on the JavaScript, which is most of our users, we put a little class on the body because it's much faster to use CSS than it is to use JavaScript to redesign the page that says basically JavaScript enabled. And now we present a new version of the page that's built for JavaScript. The code is still the same. We're just kind of maybe turning that form into a more attractive form, hiding a few elements or something like that. We build the interaction with JavaScript. If something like a submit button is required for the JavaScript version, we insert it with JavaScript. You don't want to build buttons or links in your normal page that are dependent on JavaScript. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what happens when you access one of your well-designed web pages with a mobile device using a screen reader?
He's asking what happens when we access one of our well-designed pages with a screen reader on a mobile device. We do test our sites with a screen reader on web browsers. We do test them with iPhones, but I'm not sure with the Android screen reader. But typically, if what we do try to maintain is the structure of the page, we use headers throughout our sites. Headers allow the secondary navigation. We do use ARIA roles and for landmarks. So they should work good. And that's the point of building an accessible page, is you shouldn't have to worry about the testing if you do it right. And then you're dealing with the quirks later on that have to be tested. Yeah. Another thing that we need to do is allow users to customize. And sometimes that customization is merely using a relative sized font instead of saying the font is going to be 17 points or 15 pixels. Well, pixels is okay. But what we want people to do is to be able to increase their font size. We want people to change the backgrounds. So we always work when we're dealing with background images that we also use a background color. So if someone disables the background images, then there's still a color underneath, so things are still legible. We use proportional fonts. We don't use a proportional width because we have to deal with advertising. But other than that, we do try to give the users as much customization as possible. That's about.
That's great.
I have a presentation on accessibility later on I can give, but I just want to give a quick one.
Okay, so we're about to go. This has been great so far. I'm going to suggest everyone take a little break, get their orientation. How we did imagine this is that in C, let me repeat that name again, that room, C438 is where we could schedule presentations and people could do demos. And I think our first one will be more in-depth at YQL at 11 o'clock. We imagine that people that were very interested in working on the clearinghouse, that maybe we could assign one corner of the room to be the kind of clearinghouse. But I see that people are pretty spread out at different tables. So that is an optional idea to get everybody together around the clearinghouse. And I think Jamal will be point on that in the front right side of the room, from the front of the room. And then also just everybody else working on the projects that they want to do. The wiki just worked for me, creating a new account. So I think that the wiki is working to create things and get confirmation. If you're still having problems, come see me. We'll see what we can do. And thank you very much for coming, and happy hacking. Hello, everybody. Blouch? Bloke. I'm sitting here with Chris Blauch, who's going to give us the first little demo. We're doing this in a couple of pieces because we only had a single day to work on different components, and the goal was to really start. And so Chris is going to show us a little piece that he built, and then we're going to see the other part of the mashup that was being worked on. So you're going to see the first part now, and then you'll see the rest of the train coming up. And I'm going to turn this over to Chris.
Okay, so this is probably the easy part. What we did is we used a API that's built into most of the modern browsers now, some geolocation APIs. So Firefox, Chrome, Safari, and maybe IE9, we'll find out. But basically we can ask the browser now to give us latitude and longitude coordinates, which is what we have here. So if I hit a reload on this page, it found out that we're at 38.895 latitude and negative 77 point something longitude. So that came from the browser. If we were on a mobile device, which has maybe a GPS chip in it, it would actually give us some coordinates from where you are right then and there. We then took this latitude and longitude data and fed it to a free API, which translates it into a location, or a city location in this case, and we plopped it into this text input field, so it says Washington, D.C. So ideally somebody wanting to look up stuff from where they are right now would not have to actually type anything. We would just figure that out for them, plop it in there. Of course, they can type something else if they care to override what we put in. And this would then go into another system which would look up FCC data, which is what Ted will be showing.
How did you get that to work?
Chris, by the way, is with AOL and has been working on the accessible jQuery work, which is very exciting because jQuery is a very popular tool set for creating interactivity in the browser.
So what we were trying to do is, that's really cool. To remind you, I'm Ted Drake with Yahoo, and we were working with a team over here. So I started off by introducing HTML5 to the team over here. And so we built the page with HTML5 structure and all the new tags. We integrated the JavaScript that he did, and it's asking me right now if I want to use that current location. So I'll say allow, and it should populate my...
Can you enlarge the type on the browser there?
Yeah. So it found the location, it's inserted it into the input. This is an HTML5 input with type equals search. That's why that little X is there. So it actually lets me clear that if I want. So when I hit submit, when I hit submit, what it's doing is it's going to YQL and it's passing the name Washington, D.C. It's getting the latitude and longitude again, which is actually not really needed anymore. And it's bringing back a couple web services at this point that we're working on. One is the broadband tests for that location.
Coming from the FCC.
This is coming from the FCC. The other one we're getting is all the information about this location. So you can see it's the name, the city, the town, postal information, longitude, latitude. If we had time, we were going to work with this in order to create the map. And then once we have some of these bits of information, we could also be making additional requests. These two bits of data are coming over in just a single web request to YQL. The reason why we didn't get it completely finished is that the data came back in a way that created a bit of a strange data object, and it just takes a little tweaking to get it working correctly. One of the nice things about working at Yahoo is the people I can ping when I have problems. So I pinged the guy that invented PHP. So we were over there debugging, and Rasmus loves hack events. So all I had to say is I was at a hack event, and he's okay, I'll help you out.
So what's the implication of what we're, I mean, can you scroll back up to the top
Sure.
here a little bit? I mean, for the, if we can cut to the screen again, could you bring the screen up? And could you enlarge it maybe just a little bit more? Could you enlarge that just a little bit more? Great, thanks. It's a little, what we're really getting is thank you. What we're looking up here is a structure of information, and it might be if we were looking, if you kind of move the cursor over the wireline max download. This is, because I know that there are some people here who aren't coders, I just want to point out that what we're getting back is this kind of big, hairy data object, which is carrying a lot of information inside of it, kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, kind of like an expanding bag, an expanding luggage bag with different compartments.
Yeah.
And each of these compartments has a label on it, such as wireline max download. And that wireline max download compartment has a value of 163,910. Now that is the value of the maximum speed that's available for download in that area coming in it. And so the only next step that has to happen here, we got the data. We're actually bringing the data back to the browser, and we have the information. And the next step here is really just putting it in an interface that's friendly for a human to read. And it's not uncommon that at this phase, especially when you're looping through a kind of big compartment of a trunk of data, that there's a little bit of time spent in the code to access the right compartment and put that piece of information somewhere nice on the page itself. So while this might look like gobbledygook, it's actually, the significance is we have the data, it's in the browser, we just have to display it nicely. And all of this work to do it was done over the course of about 3 hours.
Yeah, and an hour of that was just trying to figure out why this thing wasn't working. It should have worked right away.
So that's really pretty. So it's, you can begin to imagine that we're not building the lat long service from scratch. We're not building, getting a hold of the data that's available, the broadband data that's available service. And most exciting is all, we can get information about the location from multiple places because we have a strong ID for the location, not only lat long, but we also have the city name, and we also have this who ID?
Yeah, WOA ID.
WOA ID. What does that stand for?
Where on Earth.
Where on Earth.
So
a unique, what is, and where?
Where on Earth ID. It's a unique ID for every location. And what's important about it is it also references its parent. So this building is a child of this neighborhood, which is a child of Washington, which is a child of the East Coast, which is a child of United States, which is a child of North America. So you can drill things up and down.
Right, and we developers like to talk about child and parents because it's the idea of inheritance, that certain traits of the parents might be available in the children. So if you, and likewise, so if you know the family relationships, if you know that where the city is, then you can get information where the building is. You can you can assume certain information about the building.
Exactly.
Because you can get information about the city. So
you can also get shopping information about the neighborhood because you may be in this building, but you're in this neighborhood. So you can go ahead and pull out whether or not it's a fashion district or a restaurant district. The other thing I wanted to talk about when you were mentioning this data doesn't necessarily have to be displayed on the page. I don't have to create a data table that says max download. I could create a little bit of logic that says if the max download is between 15,000 and 20,000, that it's a green section. 15 to 10 is an orange and below. And down here with the city area, I have a bounding box. And this shows the top latitude, the top and the bottom latitude, the longitude. So it's basically creating a box. So on a map, it wouldn't be that difficult for us to say, well, here's a box that's defined, and we know that the max download is in the green section. We could actually start color coding our maps based on this data.
So I think, thank you very much. Ted from Yahoo Accessibility Team, he's given 2 demos today and took a team through writing some code. So I think Ted deserves a round of applause.
I just want to thank everybody for putting this together because it's been much better than I ever would have anticipated. It's been a great turnout.
Thank you.
And a good mixture of people. I'm used to seeing all developers, and it's nice to see everyone here.
So I'm gonna go over to our other team. How is the other team doing in terms of having something to show? Well, do you want to show the back? Do you want to show the back piece? Kind of set this up a little bit while that's happening. Come on up here and great. Thanks, Ted. Sure. Just put the computer right there and kind of scoot over a little bit to the side. You can. There you go. So. Describe what you were trying to accomplish and what you've been setting up here today.
Well, what we were trying to accomplish was really.
Also, introduce yourself. I'm sorry. Introduce yourself.
Mike Bouchard. I'm with Computech, consultant at the FCC. What me and my team were trying to put together was a mashup of two existing FCC RESTful web services. One of them being the census data information based on a location, and the other one being the broadband speed test for that same location. So with a location, you not only get the information about where you are, what the city and state and county is, but you also get your max wired upload and download speeds. And we're working on an iPhone to actually call this and pass in that latitude and longitude coordinates. So to check out the back end, we created a web service. And right now I have a web service client, which is calling this thing. But you can see the latitude and longitude that I'm passing in are right here, which is actually Washington, D.C. So when we run it, you're going to see a bunch of output from the server as it scrolls by, but we'll go back to the to our program, and you can see that the latitude and longitude passed in is 38 and -77. County's District of Columbia, State's District of Columbia. The upload speed is 89,437, and you can also see the download speed.
Now, why were you creating a new web service kind of on top of these other two?
Well, it's part of the whole mashup philosophy, right? These things were already created,
yes.
But for our iPhone application, we wanted a different interface, and that's the old interface segregation principle. So we created an interface that matched what the client wanted, right? The client's always right.
Absolutely.
So.
This is powerful because what you could do is write an app for each of the wireless service providers' phones.
Right.
And with permission of the user, you can generate an app.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S., it's real. Upload, downloads.
Well, and you tie it then to the GIS information.
Oh, boy. You're talking powerful stuff here.
So do we have something? Can we show everyone the picture of it on the iPhone or in the web app, Ante?
An Android phone?
We have that app that I showed earlier. We're having problems with the network to make it so forward, unfortunately, but we have that.
Do you want to show that and kind of discuss what would be different between what you show us and what you're working on?
Yes.
Okay, now this is, you might, can we bring up the video because we're going to show this on an iPhone, so you might want to, it's going to be, wait.
Where should I go?
You want a camera? We can do it real quick.
No, oh, do you have a camera? But what does that camera project onto?
It'll feed into the PC.
Might be.
Or is that too complicated?
I think that's too. What if you can you yeah?
Well, if you set it right there.
There we go. That's good.
Awesome.
Wait, can you step back a little bit further? There we go.
All right. So basically, what we're doing here is calling the three main APIs that are available: the license view, the broadband speeds, and the FRN lookup. Here, for example, we can type in Verizon. If I can spelled right and correctly. All right, there we go. And we can choose to show, let's say, 50 licenses and hit search. Can you guys see? There we go. So it's this is actually a rather complex query that it's doing. It's joining information from multiple tables. So there we go. All right, so these are different licenses that Verizon holds. And what we can do is, for example, we can click on one of them, and then it's going to go and open another web page that shows information on that particular license. Like, for example, here we know that it's from International Bureau, selected application listing for file number such and such, and you can look up more information about the license. All right, the next one would be broadband speeds. We have just pre-selected a set of cities, and we have New York City, Washington, D.C., Tulsa, Oklahoma, Seattle, Washington, Las Vegas, and Miami. So what we're passing is the Latin long to the service, and it tells us that for wireless speeds, 350 speed tests were run, and for wireline, 177 tests were run. For New York City, the speed 2,800 tests were run, and almost 300 tests were run for wireline. For the last one, which is the FRN lookup, we can choose, for example, since we're in DC, we can be a little biased, and we can run a search. Once again, it's hitting the API somewhere in the basement, and we get licensees back from who do business in DC. For example, we can choose I2 Telecom, and we know that they do business in a bunch of states, and their regulation status is no. What that means, I'm not exactly sure. And for those who are not totally, or who don't know, FRN is almost like a social security number for a company that does business with the FCC. Let's see, we can go back and we'll look up Alabama, and because I know that there's one, like for example, AT&T shows up on the first page. So we can click on AT&T, and once again, they do business in probably all the 50 states, and they have a bunch of technologies that they're licensed to use. And once again, their regulation status is no.
So what were you working on? What were you working on today with? What component were you working on with this web service? What were you trying to improve about what you have there?
We wanted to. Okay. Well, as Mike probably told already, we wanted to combine two of the web services. One of that wasn't actually implemented yet. We hadn't done the census block search yet, and we wanted to have those where we could use geolocation. What the app that we got to where we got to a point where we were able to either select use the built-in GPS to get our current location, or the user could enter an address and it would be geocoded to Latin long, pass that on to the web service. That would then show both the speed test results. So the enhancement was that you could actually choose from cities other than the ones that were predefined list, and also that you would get the census block information that we don't have yet.
But you're very close.
We were really close. Our challenge was that our web service was running on one laptop. We were hitting it using the API from another laptop, and I was building the iPhone app on a third one. And actually, yeah, it was really challenging because the network wasn't cooperating really.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
very
you.
impressive for one day.
Thank you.
We have one more. Amar?
Hi, everyone. So what I wanted to do is, kind of highlight some of the open source software that I came across today. and some of the APIs from Yahoo that were talked about today, and just kind of learn more about them and maybe just kind of show off what you can do with them in a pretty quick amount of time. So I use, I have a little blog. It's probably the most pointless blog on the internet, but it's fun place for me to write. And I use this free software from Google called Google Analytics to keep track of my page views. And the system will do a great job of telling you where your visitors are coming from. So over the last 2 years, I've had this number of visitors. So
it's a little small. How many visitors, or do you not want to?
It's 9,000 visits around. So right here. So this is my blog, and what I wanted to do is kind of build a map where you can kind of maybe see the cities where the visitors are coming from. And I wanted to use Mapbox to kind of make the map look cool, because one of the themes is how do you make your data look cool. And so I kind of had to write some software here and there to do it. Yahoo had an API that you can just kind of use for free, on their called where.yahoo.apis.com. And so that's how I kind of took the data out of Google Analytics and geocoded it, and got to the point where I had something that was in a KML form which I could map. And what you're kind of seeing here is just kind of like a standard way of how would I show that KML file, which I generated using Yahoo and some Java. And then the end result, which I thought was kind of cool looking, was this kind of map. And it has all the same data points as this map, but it looks a lot more cool. It looks a little more styled. And to me, that's what I think is fun and exciting. And it wasn't that hard. So that was what I wanted to demonstrate, because I wanted to highlight Mapbox, which is free, and some of the Mapbox guys were here, and that Yahoo guys, because they had a free API too. So I thought that was really cool.
So I think that concludes the FCC's first Open Developer Day. Thank you all very much for coming and making this event a success, and I'm looking forward to the next ones. Thank you.